Hello, my dear friends. Friends, I am Jyotirvid Pavan Kumar. Friends, the word ego is very common, right? But it is mostly not understood in the right way. And very few people realize that ego is of two kinds. When it is not developed, generally in ordinary people, it is binding. It keeps one earthbound, life after life, in seemingly unending cycles of birth, death, rebirth. So it is binding. Sorry. But when this ego develops, when one awakens from the sleep of ignorance and realizes, then when this ego develops or transforms, then the same ego becomes liberating. Right? Now how? Let me explain in this video. This information is going to help a lot if you are a truth seeker, if you are on the path of self development, spiritual development or enlightenment. Right? Now for this, let me first of all read what the great Tibetan Lama Lobsang Rampa has written in one of his books. He says, ego, this indicates that part of one which is conscious of I. It is the separate individuality apart from the overself. There are two kinds of ego. The first is that which is learning willingly or unwillingly. It is undeveloped, untutored, excessively talkative, overconfident, without any reason to be confident. That ego is self-centered, arrogant and aggressive. It is in fact the typical man in the street. So generally in common people who are not spiritually developed, this is the kind of ego. The other ego is one which has progressed and has learned by experience. It is possessed by those who have attained to much enlightenment. It is a person who is willing to help others, even at the risk of inconvenience and trouble for oneself. That is what a developed ego, transformed ego does. It is liberating. Right? So ego is of two kinds. Now, let me go a little bit deep into it. You must have seen pictures of Bhisham Pitamah, who was a character in Mahabharata. Sorry. Bhisham Pitamah represents this undeveloped ego, right? Which is associated with body and mind. All the characters of Mahabharata, they represent something, some aspect of life. Right? The battle, which many people believe was fought on a battlefield in Kurukshetra, actually that is symbolic only. Right? Representing the battle which is going on in each one of us. Battle between good and bad. Right? So Bhisham Pitamah was known to have Ichha Mrityu. Now if you see pictures of Mahabharata or watch the serial Mahabharata on television, you will find that in that battle, Bhisham Pitamah, which was on the side of Kauravas, right, is shown lying on a bed of arrows. So many arrows stuck into his back, and he is lying on that bed of arrows. But he is still alive. That is why they say he had this blessing of Ichha Mrityu. What does it mean? Ichha Mrityu means one can die only when one wants to. Right? So this ego which identifies with body and mind will never die until that person awakens from the sleep of ignorance and realizes, and then by efforts transforms it into the other kind of ego which is associated with pure consciousness, which is our ultimate reality, not with body and mind. Then the same ego becomes liberating, right? So this undeveloped ego, which is generally present in undeveloped people, right, which in Mahabharata is represented by Bhisham Pitama, Ichha Mrityu. It goes with that person even after death, doesn't die, life after life. So one is forcibly involved in this unending cycle of birth, death, rebirth, until one awakens and transforms one's ego. That which in other words means when one associates oneself, the I-ness, self-identity, not with body and mind, but with pure consciousness, witness consciousness, which is our true identity, our true reality, right? I hope this will help you to differentiate between the ego, which is binding, which keeps us earthbound, and the ego transformed after realization, and that is liberating. Thank you for watching.